The most fascinating thing about film and television and making these stories is that talent isn't 2020 hindsight. It isn't people making a YouTube video about how Phantom Menace could have been better. That's no talent. There's no talent involved there because you're seeing a finished product and then you're saying, well, it would have been better if you nudged this or did that or did that. Talent is being on a set. There's money being burned. There's time being spent, and you have a limited amount of time. And you're going, the train is moving, and making more right calls than wrong calls when you're on the set. That's what talent is. You know, the actors, the directors, the producers that I've seen that pull off those moments, and you think it's so clear when you see the movie. It's got music in, it's got effects, it's all clear what it's supposed to be, but it's never clear when you're doing it. It's never clear when you're making it. When you're making it, you're making the best calls you can make, and if you can make more good calls than bad calls, guess what? You're talented. You're good at this.
Yeah.
But it's very funny. I've definitely worked with people who were huge on critiquing certain movies and say, oh, they shouldn't have done that, or they should have done this.
I'm guilty of that myself.
I've worked with those people, and the moment you start writing something with them, or you start working on the set, and you notice, oh, they have no idea what they're doing. Right. You're good at critiquing a final product, but you don't know when you're in the middle of this. Your instincts are no better honed than anyone's, and it's only experience in doing that makes you better at making the right calls versus the wrong. I mean, when you work with less experienced directors, it's funny because they're so white-knuckled and they're so afraid that they're going to make the wrong call that when you make a suggestion to them, they're like, no. Then you work with someone like Dave Filoni, who's more experienced, and you go, Dave, I think Maul should say this, this, and this. And he goes, yeah, because you think that Maul's about that, and it's all about your ego, isn't it, Sam? But we can try it. Okay, we can try it. And then we do it, and he's like, okay, well, maybe a little Sith is going to make it in there after all. You never know. And then you find,
but that's the collaboration magic.
He'll give you crap for it, but then he will hear you out.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some things in the finale that there was a whole thing that I pitched. I can't talk about it yet, but there's a whole thing in the finale, very, very important moment. And I'm like, there's something bumping me about that. And I couldn't describe why, because why? The time is rolling. The train has left the station. We're all trying to get this done and we don't have time. And I'm like, and I got a hold of Dave a day or two before and I'm like, it's bumping me. I don't know why. And he's like, you're overthinking it. But then 2 days later, we're recording it, and he goes, oh, wow, I'm so glad you... I was like, there's something there. Yeah, it is bumping. What if it's this, he says. And it was like a brilliant suggestion. He came up with a brilliant solution. I'm like, that's it. And I didn't know why. It was an instinct in the back of my head. Something's not right about that. It could be better. And then Dave nailed it on the day. And that's talent. Nailing it on the day is talent. It's kind of like, you can sing as well as you want in the shower, but then you get in front of an audience. Can you do it? Maybe not.